Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I wrap up my apples, as you can see here. Yeah, it's time for me to put some mesh bags on these apples, and a lot of changes in the garden. I'm going to tie up those tomatoes and prune them real heavily at the bottom so they can get some air circulating in there. I'm also going to harvest some beans. See there? Nice. And look at here, look at my zinnia starting to flower. Putting on nice blooms.
Hey everybody! I just want to let you know I love all the great comments you left me on my singing voice. And I want to let you know I made it into the all-city choir, and only 2 people made it in my school.
All right, congratulations, Bria.
Thank you. Bye now.
It's currently 91 degrees, so the first thing I'm going to do before it gets even hotter is I'm going to protect my fruit on my Medley plum. I showed you guys in the last video. It was 1 or 2 fruit I saw on here, but actually it ended up being 3. There's number 2, and then there's number 3. It's not a lot of fruit, but guys, you got to realize that I moved this tree. It went into shock. I had 4 plum trees on my property that I sold. So I'm happy for whatever I can get, and I'm going to protect it. Now let's move on to the apple tree. This is my Golden Delicious apple tree that's on a dwarf stock. So it's not even 6 feet tall, and it won't get too much taller than that because I'm going to keep it pruned. You can see here that I bagged up the fruit and I thinned out, I got to get this one. I thinned out the apples to 2 per branch, and right over here, since it had 4 and they were a nice size, I decided to go ahead on and keep 3 here. After these apples get a little bit bigger and I'm sure that I'm not going to get any more new flowers, then I'm going to put the bird netting on. And another thing I want to point out to you, if you look right here, you can see growth. It's obvious it's coming from the root stock. You should go ahead and prune that all off. I'm going to get my pruners and go down there a little bit deeper and cut them off, because you don't want nutrition being wasted on the root stock that the tree was actually grafted on. But the tree is looking pretty good. Here are the apples that I pruned off. This is my Pink Lady apple tree, the last tree that I purchased before I moved. I decided to go ahead on and prune it. As you can see here, I only left 3 apples on the tree, and I removed a lot of branches that hadn't leafed out all the way, and you can see some of the apples. So yeah, I just want this tree to concentrate. It's a semi-dwarf stock it's on. I want to just concentrate on recovering because it went into shock. So I just want to show you that. And I'm not going to give up on the tree. I just want to wait until next year and see how it flushes out. Here's a nice harvest of Blue Lake 274 bush beans. And there's more on the vine. And then I have another container as well as a basket growing with beans. I did succession planting. But I'm pleased with the harvest and I wanted to share it with you. Now this is my biggest job. You see all the yellowing in here? I've got to prune a lot of these bottom branches off that don't have tomatoes on them to get some air in here circulating, because we just had too much rain. There are a lot of tomatoes. It's very important that you keep your tomato plants getting air circulated. And you can see everything is real clustered right here. And if you don't, and because of the excessive amount of rain we've been getting in North Texas, you can easily develop a fungus. I'm going to go into detail about the different type of funguses like early blight, late blight, black leaf spot. You can check my playlist for tomatoes and peppers, and it'll give you that information. I wanted to keep this video short to just show you that you got to have some air circulating through those vines. So that's what I'm going to remove today. And here's a pearl from Lady Cheryl. When you want your tomatoes to start getting bigger and to ripen, that is another reason why I remove those leaves that don't have any tomatoes on them. I shared this with you a couple weeks ago when I was demonstrating how to prune for to ripen your tomatoes real fast on my hydroponic systems. The same theory I apply to growing outside. I don't want my tomato plants just producing a lot of leaves. I want that energy to be concentrating on ripening and growing the tomatoes. And pretty soon, it'll be too hot down here for these blooms to turn into tomatoes. And I don't try to keep the tomatoes alive in the heat of the summer. Last year was 116, I think was the highest temperature with the heat index of 122. And so I try to harvest all of my tomatoes before it gets too hot. And they're getting bigger. So this is my biggest job, as I said. I'm gonna come back and show you all the branches that I cut off. I'll be back. And I'm also gonna tie up some branches to the tomato cage. Okay, everybody, I have pruned all of these branches off of my tomatoes. Worked on it for about an hour and a half. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. As you can see in here, you can now see through this tomato jungle. There are a lot of tomatoes here, and I was sharing that with you all in my last video, but you couldn't hardly see it because the leaves and the branches are green and they were covering them all up. But there are a lot of tomatoes here. I still have a little bit more pruning to do, but like I said, it's getting real hot and I know when I need to stop and rest. So there are a lot of tomatoes, some more yellowing I'm gonna have to clean up over here. Look at those tomatoes, aren't they pretty? Beautiful. Let me pull this branch up so you can see them. And right over here. And I'm just gonna keep going around in this little circle so you can see all the tomatoes. Pull up a chair. Gorgeous. And as I was pruning, guys, I was able to start feeling the breeze. You can see the branches shaking. We have high winds in North Texas. And I would feel like I was suffocating. And then as I start clearing everything out and the wind start coming through, I started feeling better. That's going to be it for today. And there are more tomatoes up there. They're about 6 feet tall. What I do is I attach the wire tomato cages together, and then I put in bamboo stakes, and I just tie them up, guys. There's strength in numbers, so all of the tomato cages are connected to one another. Okay. I have a little bit more. I want to show you my new harvest basket. Let me go get it. This is my harvest basket that I got from Amazon, and you can see you can rinse your vegetables off and then do the final wash when you get into the house. These are some Hungarian wax peppers. I thought they were a nice size, and those would be good stuffed with cream cheese and a little bacon. But yeah, I like this. I saw it on Amazon. I said, I got to have it. So this concludes this video. I hope I shared something with you that you can use. You know that I love you, and God loves you too. Thanks for watching. Bye now.